Mic on. Mic's on. Windows are shut. Doors are shut. Hold on. Let me go flip the sign to say I'm streaming so I'm not disturbed. Marvelous. We are good to go. Welcome. It's Friday. I thought something was going on tomorrow. I thought me and my friends had plans tomorrow. Turns out I got the dates wrong. But I set the stream up for today anyway, so we are streaming today. You know, about as organised as I ever am. Honestly, the fact that I've been able to get one video out a week every week most of the year is nothing short of miraculous. Oh boy. Hello. Yosef Salem, if we have time later, could we do the tier list? I've got a specific tier list in mind, but I think it needs a whole stream unto itself because it's going to require a lot of thought and discussion. Don't worry though, I think you'll all really love it. Maybe that can be next week's. If obviously Mike and River are free to play Railroads Online, we'll be doing that instead. Also, Mike Plays sent $1 Canadian. Thank you, buddy. No, is it Canadian dollar? Sobe. Yeah, thank you, buddy. I'm awful at the Canadian accent. I'm not going to ever try that ever again. I very much apologise to any Canadians watching. Someone should send a single yen. Any Japanese viewers or people using VPNs? Yes, send a yen. It would be very funny. I feel like I have to do an LMS basis tier list for some reason. I love the L and WR. Cool. Train of thought, how about reading something later? It depends what it is you want me to read. Because if it's like a 30-40 minute read, then I'm not sure my voice can really stand that on stream. Also, would you be willing to watch the Grand Tour special coming out in September? There's even some railway elements in it. It's not really a thing I think I associate with the channel. Maybe one day I'll watch it on Discord with you guys, but don't expect anything more than a watch party for it. I'd have to get Amazon on my computer as well, or find a website to watch it on. Hello, could we do a tier list of the big four locomotives with each railway for its own stream? There are a lot of locomotives on those railways. There were a lot of locomotives on the LNER alone. The LMS was made up of a lot of Midland and other stock. Would it be specifically locomotives built by the Big Four when they were designed and built by the Big Four? Or are we doing all the locomotives that were absorbed by the Big Four as well? Because that is a long ass list. Let's see. How's it going, ToT? I finally managed to make it to a stream after being a 3-year subscriber, lol. Thanks for sticking around so long. We've hit a pretty big milestone recently, speaking of subscribers. In case you've not noticed, I think I posted it in the Discord. I think it was yesterday, we hit the ever-elusive number of 69,420 subscribers. Because I am a child in the body of a man, That is hilarious. Well done, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. Hey ToT, I want to say thanks for inspiration. With your videos in the background, I'm designing my own 3D printed little toy train system. Aww. Can I buy shares in that? If you Dragon's Den me this idea, or I guess it's Shark Tank for a lot of viewers, it's called Dragon's Den over here. If you like pitch me this like toy train system, I think we can make a pretty penny. Assuming that, you know, it's a completely original, unpatented idea. Interesting how the stream has 75 viewers but only 16 likes. Well, not everyone who watches stuff likes it. It's rare I ever like a video, unless it's like truly something heart-moving and like worth liking. I rarely like videos. You know, I rarely subscribe to other YouTube channels. And that's just how I am, really. Train of thought, can you do a tier list on streamliners? Diesel, steam, electric, and even gasoline streamliners, and maybe let viewers submit streamliners for the list. Maybe. A lot of tier list ideas. It's definitely going to be a lot of streams in the future. Train of thought, mark my words, I swear I'll find a Lionel coin bank to send to you. Please do. By the way, you forgot to post on Discord that you are live, Train of thought. What do you mean I forgot to post I'm live? I posted it in announcements. Oh no. Oh no. Can you guys see the announcements, chat? Because if you're in the Discord, you might have to like go onto the rules and like reselect I have read and agreed to the rules. Because I posted it in announcements. I literally said, as normal, I put, at everyone, we're doing a stream today. Has that not gone through? I think, Borkirth, one of the mods, they were messing around with a bunch of the settings in the Discord server, trying to like fix, I think it was the Cursed Trains ban, and subsequently borked the whole thing. Oh boy. So yeah. So if the Discord server's a bit messy, you might just have to bring that to the attention of the moderators. I think we're going to have to spend a while fixing what's happened there. Let's see here. Could you take a look at Norwegian railway history? In the 1880s, we had trains of British built two-axle passenger carriages pulled by American-built locomotives with buffers. That's interesting. Anyway, we're not here to talk about trains and my videos. We're here to talk about Lego trains that I have in boxes right next to me. You should play Ultra Kill. I'll play it in my own time. I've heard good things about the game. Train of thought, have you ever thought of combining two Lego train sets together? Well, as in like taking the engines apart and building them into some bigger locomotive? Because technically, I've already combined two separate trains into one. Let me flick my webcam on. There we go. I apologise for the abysmal lighting and abysmal video quality. this is the webcam I have, and it's not gonna get any better than this. Although you can see my glass of water there. That'll keep me hydrated throughout this stream. I've got this water tower here as well. I just thought I'd put that there as a bit of set dressing. I've also put down paper as well, because this is a black desk. The wheels, I was testing this earlier, the black wheels on the carriages kind of blended in to here, and it was almost impossible to tell them apart. So yeah. Here we have... One second. Okay, just making sure I'm using the right mic. Here we have... It's... I can't remember what the name of the set is, but it's like the bullet train set. You only get these front two, and so I bought another one and just double-ended the thing, and here we are. This just sort of lives on my desk. So... Man, I love YouTube in 2008. Oh no. OMG, ToT hand reveal. I've built stuff. I've built Lego sets on this stream before. Speaking of Lego sets, I still have the Orient Express set. I've not built that yet. Gonna be honest, I don't know how I feel about building it on stream because it's a massive set. So I might end up just building that tomorrow in my own free time. Because it's been sat in my room and I've been wanting to build it for a long time, so... You know. If it wasn't such a massive set, I'd consider building it on stream, but... Yeah. Also, what's with all the react emojis? Just people... What is that, like the blushing stare emoji? What's going on with that? Now people are reacting 100s. I honestly don't know what's going on with that. It's like a little broken tap in the corner of my screen just spewing out emojis. Wait, ToT has a hand? I thought he was just an voice that teleports into our heads. I mean, yeah, I'm also a disembodied voice. Regardless... I will say though, if you hear my voice in your head and you've not got one of my videos playing, do seek professional help, because I don't want to be associated with whatever heinous crime you are going to commit while under the influence of my voice telling you what to do in your deranged mind. Anyway. Let's start, shall we? What shall we start with? Because I'm thinking... Let's see. I'm thinking we start with some of, like, the newer sets I have. And then, like, working our way back to some of the older sets and the ones I've had for a while and sort of modified. Just so, you know, best till last kind of rules. So we'll roll this on. I think I'll just start off with the rolling stock. You're not going to be interested in... Yeah, come on. So I think this came as part of... I got that as well. You can... Oh, let me just... The light. It's hard because directly in the path of this lamp that I'm using to get some good light on these sets, there's also my microphone and the webcam. So it's... I think I built this set on stream actually. So it comes with this sort of like mobile bank vault that I still need. I've not put all the stickers on it. It's my one thing that I have a fear of, because my fingers I find get quite greasy always at the time when I'm trying to put the stickers on, and then they're either crooked or, you know, I'm not that dexterous with the stickers is my point. And they're a right pain in the backside to get on and put them on straight. So obviously you've got... So I think I've built this on stream. We've got this sort of safe. It's got like a snowmobile in it. We've got the logs. And I think it also came with this. Get on. You know, this crane. I quite like. It's been a while since I've gotten all of this out. That's as far back as that's gonna go. And then we'll bust out the old green locomotive, which came with this set as well. I've not put batteries in this thing yet. So obviously it's not going to go, but I do have batteries in another one. Honestly, I don't really know what else to say. I'm never expected to be showing off my Lego models, but here we are. Yeah, I built this set on stream. It's a nice little set. It's a nice engine, and I like the crane. I gotta say, like, it's the one thing I've never properly had. My Lego train sets is like a crane that I can properly use. So let's wind this down and get this put away. So yeah, you've seen me build this one on stream, whatever. Let's move on to something you haven't seen before. Get all this off my desk. Train of thought, why is there a human skull in a Drozen state of screaming behind the water bottle on the top right of the screen? What? This? Are you seeing a screaming skull in this set? What are you... What? Is it this, the thing I'm moving around? Because this is a Bionicle set I got for $5. And what's incredible about this thing as well, I picked it up at like a church sale. And it's still in the bags. It's not been built. The box is like open and broken, but aside from that, it's still in the bag. So part of me's been tempted to build it, but part of me's been tempted to leave it just in the bag in sort of like mint condition. In case someone wants to offer me £500 for it. It has to specifically be £500. I won't take a penny less. Not a penny more though either. I'm fair like that. No, that's a bus. Give me 1 second. So next up I have, I think it's one of the recent cargo trains. It came with this truck, which I would like to get more of these. If I need to find like a parts list or something so I can just make more of these sorts of wagons. Maybe with brown boards on the sides. Very Germanic looking. Yeah, it is. I guess Lego is Danish, isn't it? So a lot of their sets will be based on Northern European locomotives. Like, a lot of their cargo trains tend to be based on like the electric engines used around Denmark and Sweden and the Netherlands and that sort of thing. Looks like a 7-plank wagon. Yeah. What's good about this one though is you can like lower down all the sides, and it's also designed to carry solar panels, which can be loaded and unloaded by this thing. This great big crane doodad. Which I appreciate in these Lego sets. Is that a satellite? No, it's a solar panel thing. Let me be a child for a moment, and so the idea is you drive it forwards, you lower this, and it sort of like automatically hooks on, and then you can just lift it up, which is pretty cool. That's actually a dock handler. Yeah, I bet it is. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a good dock handler. Anyway. So we see to unload the solar panels, and the idea is that like these unfold, and what came with the set as well is something I quite like, is a bunch of electric cars. And you know they're electric because this is like a solar panel filling station, and you park your car and presumably uncouple these and recharge your car. Obviously it's Lego, so you don't really need electric to push them around, you just use your fingers the way God intended. Imagine a Lego Tesla Cybertruck. How easy would it be to build a Cybertruck out of Lego? Because when you think about it, like, it's a very geometric car. And if Lego is one thing, like taking it from this car, it's geometric. So I imagine you could probably build a Lego Cybertruck quite easily. Hell, you could probably build a Lego Cybertruck that works better than an actual life-size full one. Because the people that designed the Cybertruck could not care less about making it functional. Anyway, we also got one of these, which we need a way of getting our electric cars from A to Z. We use an electric train to get them from A to Z. And what I especially like about this set... Let me just put this out of the way, so I've got some more space on my desk. The set came with this set of buffers, where it's like a loading ramp. So the idea is, what you do is you sort of... Oh, you can't see that, can you? One second, chaps and chapettes. Oh, the water tower's gone over. We're all doomed. Town's flooded, etc, etc. So the idea is you roll this back. There's like a little catch on here, so when you roll this back you can flip down this. Catches on here. You physically can't roll it forward, so you can pop down these sides, drop this down, and you can just unclasp it and roll the car off. It's pretty neat, honestly. You know, I know a lot of people prefer fashion over function with these sorts of things, with like model trains at least, and probably with Lego model trains as well. But honestly, I like the added functionality of it. It just adds something. If you want to piece that gondola wagon together, I suggest using Bricklink. There are many sellers putting that wagon alone up for sale. Yeah, the problem is, because it's Lego, it's probably going to cost you like 20 quid a wagon. Because that's the one thing about Lego you can always guarantee, is it's going to be blooming expensive. I love Lego, don't get me wrong, but God, I don't love the price. Where did I put that one car? It's not there. Huh. I guess that's just gone walkabout. Oh, there it is. It's under a load of stuff. Right, one sec. Let me unclip that. Let me give you a great view of my very, very hairy hands. I know some folks prefer bears, but this is ridiculous. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Clip this all back together. And let me just read what chat's been saying. Trainer thought you should do a video on that one vertical automobile railcar design, specifically carry Chevrolet Vega. Here's the thing. Honestly, it's strange because I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, Trainer thought you should do a video on this. Oh, Trainer thought you should do a video on that." And 9 times out of 10, like, around the time they're asking for this video, someone else has already done a video on the same subject. And, like, don't get me wrong, people do make videos about the same thing all the time. Happens all the time in railway circles. I can't begin to tell you how many folks have talked about things like Mallard, Flying Scotsman, City of Truro, even some of my recent videos, like the Soham disaster that I covered this week. You know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of these stories tend to get recirculated a lot, and a lot of people tend to make similar videos. Whenever someone's like, "Oh, could you make a video on this?" 9 times out of 10, there's a channel who knows a lot more about them than me, who have done a much better video than me, and it's usually come out within a couple of days of this person asking. And don't get me wrong, like, I'd be interested in doing videos on some of these locomotives and subjects as well. It's just, there's only so much you can add, if you know what I mean. Like, there's only so much I can talk about with certain subjects that, like, other people have already said. And it's one thing I'm trying to work on with some of my videos. Some videos I get it. Like, yeah, I want to do a video on certain subjects as well that people have already covered. But it's smaller things as well. You know. Maybe it's just people like hearing my voice more than other people's. I don't know, but it's one of those things. People have already made a better video on certain subjects than me, than I ever will make. And it's worth watching their stuff as well as mine. You know, if I could do everything, but I could do everything everyone else has already covered, but then it's not really fair. Yeah, because at the end of the day, all YouTubers are reading from the same wiki pages for the information. Yes and no. Because some YouTubers go a little bit extra. They, like, interview people, or some YouTubers do a little bit more digging. Unlucky Tug's video on the Flying Scotsman, that's an example of people who go the extra mile. Some people do just read the Wikipedia article, and I totally get that. I try to do more than just read the Wikipedia article. Like with the Soham disaster, a lot of people tend to read the Wikipedia article and go from that. But it's worth, if you're ever on Wikipedia, going to the sources and seeing like where they get the information from. Because 9 times out of 10, there's a bunch of other interesting extra stuff there. And let me grab something else to put on the track while I'm talking. Like with the Soham disaster, if you actually read the crash report, or like the incident report, there's a bunch of interesting extra details. Or I think there's another source I credited in the description, which was an interview with someone who lived in Soham when it went off. And they talked about the state they found the driver and fireman in. They talk about the state of the station. Like, the gasworks caught fire. I don't think it says that in the Wikipedia article, but after the explosion went off, the nearby gasworks caught fire. And there's just lots of tiny bits of information. I don't include all of them. But I also thought, everyone says, oh yeah, only Nighthall and Bridges died during the Soham disaster. But this guy's recounting of the story, he also mentions that he found a dead horse as well. So it is worth just digging a little bit deeper. You know? And I try that. I try to do that more than just read the Wikipedia article. I go the extra mile. I think another thing the guy said as well in his recount of the explosion is that afterwards, when crews came to repair the line, like remove stuff, a lot of the things that came, it was 1944, and there were a lot of Americans stationed in the UK. There was, I think, like big American bulldozers and like an American engineering team came in to clear the line and repair the shirt. Repair the shirt? What? So I saw the word shirt on chat and I said repair the shirt. Clear the line and repair the station. And the guy said that a lot of the workers that came, in his words, in the recount of this story, he said they were coloured. So a lot of black soldiers came over and helped repair Soham Station. Just tiny little details like that you lose out on when you just skim over the Wikipedia article. And it doesn't mean much, but it's nice to know these things. You get me? Anyway, we got a wagon here. So hold on, Terry G. I was wondering, do you or anyone in the chat know of any tips/sources of good information on how to start a model railway in N or T gauge? I'm probably the worst person to ask about model railing. I can barely decorate anything in railroads online. So I'm the worst person to ask about model railing, mate. I appreciate the £5 though. Anyway, this came with the rest, like the car loader and the hopper wagon. But I think what you're almost interested in is what I'm about to show you here. Is if I push this button and push this button. Sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking, by the way. I really need to get a new chair. This one's abysmal. But I hit the forwards button. It's the one train in this entire building I have batteries in. It's nifty though. I do really like this one. And move it away. Hold on, how far? Okay, I was just seeing how far forwards or how far back this thing went. So if I I'm just seeing if I can use this to push other wagons forward as a sort of like reveal. Let's see. So we've got all these sorted. I'll also add. I have a couple of station sets. Well, I say a couple. I literally mean a couple, as in two. I think I got this station. I'm not going to get the whole thing out because it's a pretty big boy. But it's this station set. There's like a big clock tower that goes on here as well. It comes with a segment of road. Like, you know, it goes on here and you got like the big control tower. So, yeah. Also, the thing about this station is it is very vincible. It is very easy to break, so I can stay there. That station also came with some fun stuff. It came with a big old bus, which bus of thought. For there you are. It's finally real. Is that the Fortnite battle bus? It is not the Fortnite battle bus. With a bit of modification, you could probably modify it. Oh yeah, I don't know. Is this a thing you can do on like European buses in like in Denmark? Can you hook a bike onto the back? Because we can't in this country. But if you could, you bet your ass I would be getting the bus like into town a hell of a lot more frequently. Like, just a bus, that would be so useful. Because you're not even supposed to take buses on the trams, which I get, but it's also a bit annoying. But with the station set, we also got this, which is my favourite thing in the world, because it's one of my favourite things to ever come with a set. Because you got to love a bit of a road railer. You got to love a road railer. But what's also great is it comes with a bog. Like, why? What is the point of this little? Hold on. So the idea is that the chap drives his truck to maintain the track, and he's got like the portaloo, and like, oh, there's a bit of services needs doing there, so you'll take the portaloo off, leave it at the side of the road for the workers. And is the whole point of this truck to carry a portaloo around? Is this a real thing? Because look how goofy this little truck is. Look at this absolute, like, oh, let me turn my, no, there we go. Like, what is the point of this goofy little truck? Do these exist in Denmark to just pull portaloos around? Honestly, it's a strange thing. So yeah, it's like a neat little truck, but it's just one of those things where it's like, what? Why does it come with a portaloo? I guess you could use it on the go, but you'd be a brave soul, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to go over like a bump in the track while you're on that. You'd also want it to be very secure, because, God, could you imagine going over a bump and getting splashed by that? Oh, God. You'd never live it down. got another station as well, which is, I think it's the red one that like has the bridge that goes over the tracks. Again, though, it's a little bit fragile, so I'm not gonna bother with it. So those are the sets I've like bought within the last few years. What you guys are interested in, I'm assuming, is some of the bit more like old school stuff. So let me pop this down. Who remembers this set? This is an old boy. This is years old. You'll notice I've made a few modifications to this one. Essentially, for a while, I had this set for a while, and eventually the batteries died in it, and something went wrong with, I think, the motor in one of these bogies, and so I wanted to obviously play with it, but I couldn't because the motors were gone in one of like the wheel sets. So what I did is, that's the bogie as it comes with the set, and this is a bogie I sort of made from scratch. Obviously, I still had the wheels and these sort of side panel things, because these were fitted onto like the electric part, and obviously the wheels came with it as well. So I instead just sort of cobbled this together, and I think, like, as bare bones and, you know, crappy as it is, if you want to call it that, it works. You know, like, I can I get this on? Can I get this on without like having to line it up? Can I? No, it's not. Look, no. Wait, I might have it. He might have it. No, I don't. Hey, with the power of editing, he's done it. Yeah, I've also modified the top as well. So I've given it, you know, horns. I've given it sort of like whatever this sort of like triangle thing is on the roof. You could probably come up with a thing for that. You know, we've got more vents up here and more vents and just a black stud on this part. So it doesn't move. It's not motorized, and it doesn't have the. I just had the word in my head. The thing that connects to the overhead lines. Pylon? Not pylon. Pantograph. That's it. Pantograph. I had that word in my... You ever had that? You ever have that where you just have a word in your head and you say something and then instantly it just goes? Honestly, I have to put earmuffs on when the wind blows because it whistles when it goes through my ears. Honestly, I tell you. We're going through this a lot quicker than I thought we would, so we'll slow it down. I think this came with the yellow cargo train, and it's a nice set. You can see the sticker here is coming off a bit. I don't want to peel it off and try and put it back on because I know darn well that that's never going to go back on properly. It's also a bit crooked, this wagon. The wheels aren't lined up properly. So if I put this... There we are, that's dealt with it. Maybe that triangle bit is sort of a wind vane to maybe to prevent maybe leaves or other debris from getting caught in the vents. Yeah, you see, you people are already making up good ideas for just completely what's essentially kit bashing. It's a tanker, nothing more to say. It's an Octan tanker. The Legos still get their plastic and oil from Octan, because I know that was like a thing they protested a while back. It was like, stop using crude oil for Lego, and Lego went, alright, I bet. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. Ignore all that, I'm just knocking things over to get to the next thing. We're really tearing through this stream, guys, but I think we've got a few more custom cars to go, and I think you're going to want to have a good look at those. Let's see, where's that? Let's see. Where did I put it? Ah, here we are. Get out of the way. Movies. So this this also came as well. Train of thought face reveal. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Just go watch Max Terrier. Go watch Max's vlog. Anyway, this as well, and I like this. This is good because it works with so many things. Because you've got two squares and the flat bit there. So what you do is you can just drop it on. It's locked in place. You can take it off. You can take it off again. You know, it works with this big shipping container, and also that set also came with a big red lorry. So it comes with let's just spin it around. Spin it around, get out of the way. Okay, so it comes with this like red truck, and the same thing goes for the trailer the lorry comes with. What's great about this is these bits in the middle. It also came with this smaller shipping container, and you can put that on halfway. And what's great about this is when I've modified a lot of other wagons as well to work with the system. So not only can I have, say, like a single shipping container, but I've also got this, which is, I'll take this off so you can get a better view of it. You know, it's just like a pallet of just general goods. You can imagine this is going to repair something or that kind of thing. And also what I have is this. It's a big grey box. Yeah, like someone said, a transformer that you'd have at a power station. And what this is if I take the side off and take the chain off, I just stuck that on there earlier so I wouldn't lose the chain. This is actually the battery box from the yellow locomotive, and it's still got the batteries in it. So it's got quite a bit of sort of like heft to it, quite a bit of weight. So when I put it on a wagon like this, all I need to do is just give it a little push. And once I get it a bit of momentum, it really carries it. Obviously this is quite heavy as well, so just sticking it on this truck leaves it quite unbalanced. Let's plonk that there and roll this out of the way. I think those are all like the wagons I have not fully modified. What also came with that set is another flatbed wagon that's probably buried under all this other Lego here. This was once upon a time meant to carry a pair of little cars, but I've modified again. It's not the tidiest job, it's a bit messy really, but I've changed it so I can just drop these on. I just really like this container system, honestly. A man has been hit by a train in Lego City. Hi there, Pacific Productions. Thanks for the $5. Let's see. LTD. Hey, Train of Thought. Can you suggest a train for me to draw? What locomotive can you draw? Hard to think off the top of my head. How complex are you wanting? Because I know the Welsh Highland Railway, I think they've just got done overhauling another South African locomotive that got on the railway. So that might be worth a doodle. So let's roll this truck out of the way. And now what are we wanting to see? Are we wanting to see some more custom flatbed wagon? Well, not flatbed. I wanted to see some more just sort of like custom trucks. Or do you want maybe a homebrew locomotive, perhaps? Oh, so we'll do some custom wagons. We'll save the best. I'll save the best till last. It's what keeps the viewer retention. You know, you don't put all like the epic fight scenes at the beginning of the movie. You put them throughout and throughout the end, just so people stay watching the movie. Here's another sort of flatbed wagon I've got. As you can tell, I picked up a bunch of these sort of like red wheel parts just through years of family members and relatives just giving me random bits of Lego. So this is one of those sort of like like a well wagon, and this I sort of modified with the idea of it would like carry this. So you can imagine it's a big transformer, it's a big heavy thing. You know, you'd need something heavy duty to pull this. Actually, that's the thought. Because this doesn't roll very well. Let me... Okay, it's still on. Probably should... Good thing I'm getting this back out. Ooh. Right, connected. Oh, it does struggle, doesn't it? Ooh. Listen to that. You can hear that squeak, can't you? You can hear it rubbing. I think these wheels are older than me. Let me just turn this engine off. There we are. I'm gonna have to I'll have to take these wheels off, like see if I can pull them out and oil them a bit, just see if it makes them roll a bit easier. I've got some WD-40 downstairs. Hopefully that doesn't destroy the plastic. Part of me wishes I picked up Lego as a cheaper way to buy model trains, but another part reminds me how cheap and breakable the levers on the points are. Yeah, I think I had one set of points break on me, so I'm pretty lucky as of now. I've only had one set of points break. Still though, it's not good. It's not a good look, is it? Anyway, on with the red wheels. Let me get a full-on cavalcade here of red wheel. I've got another one of these trucks somewhere. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Don't bite, don't worry. You can come out now. There you are. I'll plonk you there. And I got one more truck with red wheels. Where are you hiding? Come on out. Where are you, you wee beggar? Don't make me ask again. There you are. Okay, so we've got a kind of a bit of a mix here. So we've got this, which is like a hybrid of old and new, because it's got like the new buffers on it. It's got relatively new pieces. It's just a little flat car, just a single flat car. That's so rinky-dink. It really is rinky-dink. That's a good descriptor of it. And we also have these little OG Lego things as well. This has got buffers on it. And I think I'd end up finding buffers that fit on this. And I also have like this flat car as well. The only problem is the red magnet's broken. So if I ever have to use this in a train, this has to go on the end because it's got nothing to connect with. And again, same with the rest of them. This is designed to take and hold these. Call me unoriginal, I just think this is a very good system. I just really like how... I just think this is clever, and how it holds the trucks together and the loads on the trucks. I really like it. Broken wagon could be in a scrap siding. There you are. You guys are... This is why I talk to you guys. Because you know what I need to... You know what to do. Do you want to make Lego tugs from tugs? Can't say I particularly care. We'll just plonk that out the way for now on there. I also have a crane that I've sort of thrown together. Again, very rinky-dink and very unstable. This, you can tell I built this. You know, it's got a little crank here. This is most certainly built for function over form. But honestly, let me just stick it down on these tracks here. No, let me push it forward a bit. Definitely function over form, but you know, it works. Got these arms that hold it up. It turns. And it's just whatever I mount this to is, I guess, the crane. Yeah. So if I really wanted to, I could throw it onto this rinky-dink wagon. You've heard of the honky-tonk man? Here's the rinky-dink. I just realised how awful this looks. Oh God. That is not the right wagon to use with that crane. Oh God. That is hideous. Oh Jesus. I think I think we'll stick. I think we'll stick with. Here we are. It's not as good, but you know it works. I could mount it on here, or I could mount it, say, lower down and have it out on this. It's not the best crane I've ever designed. I'm not going to lie. But honestly, before I built that Lego set, the one that came with the crane, this is all I had. You know, so it's rickety, but it's functional. You know, I like it. Pull that off. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about some locomotives, shall we? The first one, do you want to see some that are actually from a set, or would you be interested in seeing my custom home-built shunting engine first? Because I think you guys... It's this one thing that I built ages ago before I have such intimate knowledge of trains as I do now. And so I sort of built this and came up with a use for it afterwards. And it's this dinky boy here. I'll give you a better look of it close up. But come on, get off. Like the tan and chocolate, not a very appealing colour scheme I get. But you know, it's like a little shunting engine. And I quite like it, and I've made it so that, you know, you can take the roof off, the inside is completely empty, as you'd expect. Let me get the roof back on. And just giving you a better look of sort of like the inside that you can see like completely through it. It's again, it's a little squat, it's a little weird, but I quite like it. It's not based on anything. I just sort of came up with this idea of like a double-ended shunter. Someone said it looks like the Stafford locomotive. It does. Like, it wasn't still after I completed it and I found out like the Stafford shunting thing existed. I was like, I guess I just designed a real existing locomotive. And I like the idea that this is kind of multi-purpose. It's, you know, used for like shunting in the yard. It's probably like a battery powered, or it's got like a little diesel engine in it. Or I like the idea that this is more of like a rail inspection vehicle. So it would probably go around. Let me organize this real quick. So, you know, probably have like a little wagon towed behind it, you know, to go around. That's why it's got these like lights here. You know, it's just a dinky little rail inspection vehicle. Or again, it's like some kind of shunter. Multi-purpose, yeah. It's one of those things that I just sort of built one day. I have the Lone Ranger set, and I think I took apart the wagon that had like the Gatling gun on it. I took that apart and built something out of it because I wanted another locomotive, and I settled on just building a dinky little shunter, which is nice. Speaking of Lone Ranger, we've got this, which beforehand was, I think it was meant to be like a prison van they're bringing Butch Cavendish in on. And I have since modified it, and I've turned it into sort of like a guard's van, essentially. Let me spin this around. So you've got like your crates inside, you've got your boxes, and if I take the roof off, which I'm not... Actually, no, I'm not supposed to take the roof off. There's a certain way you're meant to get the roof off of this thing. Oh, sorry, I'll just take the whole bloody thing off. We'll just rip it to pieces. There we go. And if you look inside, I kind of have... Let me turn my big light on, just so we get a bit more light in here. There we go. Now you can actually see it. So you've got crates and whatnot inside, but you've also got a little chair. Let me see if I can... Got a little chair, and I've also sort of like here I've put in like a little fireplace, like a little stove to keep the for the guard to keep warm. And on the roof you can see I've put in like a little sort of, it's hard to see there, like a little vent, like a sort of chimney for the presumable vast quantities of smoke to come out of. So, you know, this is meant to be some kind of like, again, I think it was meant to be like a goods van or like a cattle van that was like a prison van basically. And I've obviously just, yeah, I've just modified it and turned it into a brake van because I think a brake van just works a bit better for this. It's the right sort of size, it's the right sort of scale. It works, and you can see this at the end of a train. Let me throw together just a little train here to sort of make my point clear. So we'll connect that. We'll get some logs. Why not? Just a real mishmash of a train. Now you can see that works a bit more as a brake van. So I've put like the little red light on the back there as well. Respect to the guy who is watching this on a Windows XP. Someone watching this stream on Windows XP, or is that just a joke about the video quality? Because the video quality on this stream isn't great. I'm being real, it's not great. I apologise in advance. Lone Ranger or Emerald Knight? What are we thinking? We're on the Lone Ranger, we'll get the Lone Ranger one. I've already made the decision, I shouldn't have even asked you guys. I've posted pictures of this engine. I posted pictures of it in the Discord server in my train set. Let me get it railed properly. Let's get it rolling properly. There we go. Yeah, the lighting isn't very flattering on this one. Like, the dark green isn't working well with, like, the orange light and the blue light that I've got. But this is how I've essentially modified it. I've given it connecting rods here because no connecting rods looks weird. Um, I've changed the bell, because beforehand it was like swinging on a bar, but it was like weirdly big and it just didn't look that great. I've given it a whistle here, and the front, I've given it a fully grey front at the smoke box. I've given it a smaller lantern, and I've given it a smaller grey chimney. But the thing is, with this set as well, where there were... I've changed this out at the back. There's usually like buffers and a magnet here to connect the tender. I've just swapped it out for like one of those, like a rubber Technic piece and just 2 pins. Because at the end of the... I think... Because that holds it together better than the magnet does. So if I pull something, it'll disconnect here and not pull the tender off. So it looks nice there. It saves on couplings, and it gave me couplings to use on these. But also the funnel, chimney, whatever you want to call it, it looks nice grey. Don't get me wrong, but I've got... Here we are. I'm going to ask all your opinions on this, because it's not really that accurate, but I like the way it looks. So this is going to be a very... I don't know if it's going to be divisive here, but I like the chimney when it has a gold ring on it. And I'm going to ask you guys how you feel about that. Ooh. That's it with like the gold ring on the chimney. I completely get it looking nice without it, but I quite like how it looks with it. I feel this is going to be divisive because I've got someone saying, honestly, L modification, but other people are saying it looks better. I can see it both with it and without it. How about putting it on the top? Okay. We'll see how well this works. So maybe a bit more like that. Yeah, but the thing, because it comes narrower here, it kind of ruins the effect. See, I'm not keen on it on the top. I mean, I guess I could flip it over and have it on, say, like, the bottom. It doesn't look too bad on the bottom, but I think... Here's a hint, put a grey stud on the gold one. Well, that's the thing, though, because even though it's only, like, 1 stud, I think it'd be too high. I don't want the funnel to be too tall. Because otherwise, then it's just going to look goofy as hell. Make it a diamond stack. Oh, like the big sticky outy spark arresters. Let me mess with the bell a second. Let me see what it's like if I use the bell and just give it like a nice flared out top. Because I don't have any like grey. Looks better without the smokestack. Hot take. Lol. Nah. That doesn't look good. I can't describe why this looks weird. It looks bad. Let me even extend it. It's gonna look... It's too high. It's better, but it's too tall. I think it does work best when it is just all grey. It's taken me a while to come round on it. but I think all grey works just because it's like it suits it better. I get this shape would be nice to have, but I don't have any... Ooh, excuse me, I don't have any like light grey in that style, so I'm just going to have to stick the bell at the front and leave it as it is. But this is... it's how I've modified it, and I quite like it. I don't have the bits I need to make the tender bigger. It's the one thing that if I could change I would. I'd give it like the full like double bogey tender. Someone's saying the chimney looks too skinny all around. But honestly, it fits, because a lot of American locomotives of like the Wild West period at least, the ones that were coal burning, did have quite skinny smokestacks compared to a lot of others on the line. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I like the skinny chimney more, because the OG one that came with the set was so chunky. It was just so big, and it's just way too big for the set. Like this one, I like the way it looks, especially with the smaller headlamp. So I like, this is the Constitution set, I quite like it. There have been times where I think I've changed out the firebox here, because these pieces, it's hard, I'm not sure if you can notice, yeah, they're sort of like rounded slopes here. I've swapped them out for like flat rectangles to give it more of like a bell pair look. And it looks okay with like the bell pair sort of shape. Do I have any of those flat pieces kicking about actually? I don't. That's a shame. If I had some flat pieces, I'd modify it and show you, but at the moment I do not have any of those on hand. Oh my god, D-Man with the $20. I'm forcing my friends to watch Lamau. Hello, D-Man's friends. I don't know what D-Man's name is in real life, but just know he spends a concerning amount of money on me. I'm basically D-Man's gigolo at this point, so... yeah, now you know what your friend's been wasting all his money on. But thanks for the $20 anyway. Okay. What good, however, is a locomotive if you don't have anything to pull? Let me... clunk, clunk. I like the way Constitution looks pulling this carriage. Let me switch it. Oh yeah, just so you notice, I've put like a little... I've put like a brake, well not a brake, but like a rear red light on Constitution as well, because I just like the way that light looks there. This carriage, it's the only one I have. I wish I had just more of these so I could have like a rake of them. Because these are a nice carriage design. My only problem with this is, when you put it behind the Emerald Knight, they just look too narrow. That's my kind of problem with them. And the nice carriages, when you look at them like head on, they're very dusty as well. When you look at them head on, they're just kind of like too narrow. And like they've got a nice sort of profile, but they've got a nice like profile, but they're just sort of too narrow behind the Emerald Knight. Behind Constitution, however, I think they look quite nice. They fit quite well. because it's the same sort of width as Constitution and that sort of thing, so it looks much better, which is strange because it's quite a British designed passenger car and obviously a very American engine. So it swings and roundabouts, I guess. That's the sort of term for it. It looks nice, but it's behind the wrong engine. If they'd done what they did with Emerald Knight, where in some places Emerald Knight is 7 studs wide, I think if this carriage was just a little wider, or they'd somehow like rounded it out a bit more, I think this would look magnificent behind the Emerald Knight. But it's, again, it's just one of these things where we can wish, but wish is all we can do. That's the only passenger carriage I have, by the way. I don't have any others. But now the main event, the thing you all came here to see, the question that was on everyone's mind: does Train of Thought really have the Emerald Knight Lego set? Is he the kind of guy who would have asked for that Lego set as a kid? And I'll tell you now, you damn well, Buster, better gosh darn believe I do. And just to clarify, it's Emerald Knight spelt with an N, not a K. I think it would have been, a nice to have it as a knight with a K. The more astute of you can probably tell that it's different, or it's at least been modified to an extent, which it has. And we'll go over these modifications one by one. Firstly is the tender, or how it connects to the tender. Similar with Constitution, I've just sort of stuck them together using Technic pieces. Because again, those buffers and coupling pieces, they're not cheap, and they just, I wanted some more. The wheels are a bit small compared to like the rest of it. The wheels should be, I don't know, much bigger. I also don't know what these are here. Like these two circles here. Are they meant to be letting in air for the fire, or are they just decorative bumps? I can't tell what they're meant to be. The boiler looks like it's sloping. It's the camera angle. Hold on, let me try and... It's going to look a bit wonky. Trust me. There we go. Is that better? The boiler looks better now. It's the camera angle more than anything. The boiler is pretty flat. There was a point where I botched up building it. I think I had the cab set a bit lower and a bit further back than it should have been. So at one point I did have to take the whole thing apart and rebuild it. But it runs like a dream. The stickers that were on the side of the tender, I've just reversed it so the tender is plain. I like the way the plain tender looks more than having LRTS on it. At the back here, we also have a little like red light, warning light on the back here, on the back of the tender. But the main changes are happening here at the front. So let me just uncouple the tender so it's a lot easier to see. So at the front, God, it's hard to see that, isn't it? Let me get the water tower out of the way. We don't need to see that. What does LRTS stand for? I looked this up because I was curious what railway the LRTS was. And it stands for Light Rail Transit System. Why they decided to call an A3 Pacific engine a light rail transit vehicle, I will never know. But yeah, my only complaint about this is sometimes the wheels tend to stick a little bit. I think it's just the axle kind of has a bit of up and down wiggle room on it, and I think this doesn't really help. Or it might be the cylinders that get a little bit stuck. So you have to push down on it a bit for it to run smoothly. Oh, there we go. It likes going forwards, it doesn't like going backwards for whatever reason. If someone who owns this Lego set can explain what's causing this, I would greatly appreciate it. But again, the main changes have come at the front, and it's quite hard to see because it's so bloody... the lighting is abysmal. Let me get my phone out and turn the torch on that. Sewing machine oil, I'll look into that, thank you. So, how come I can see it perfectly, but this bloody camera can't? Okay, it's hard to see with all the black. I'll rotate this light a bit. But I've basically taken the... So I've taken the number and I've taken the like top mounted headlamp off. I still have the bits needed. So if I really wanted to... There we go, let me on the fly modify. Okay. Ah, no. Oh, that's not good. I've lost a single black stud. That's just gone flying off the set. That's not good. That's going to be a problem for post-stream me. Why are you so hard to get off? There we go. I've just cleaned my carpet today, so hopefully... Why are you so hard to get off? Yes, I said that. That's what every single woman has ever said to me. Way, that's a joke. That's a joke. Like women want to get me off. Anyway, so what we can do is put that back on top. There we are, and we can put the smoke deflector back on. So if I really wanted to, I can have like the light on the front there. I guess it's subjective opinion what you like. I prefer it without the light. That's just me. And what I've done is on the front here, let me try and show you, usually it's just plain like that. I don't really like the way that looks at the front because it just leaves it kind of empty looking. So what I've done, or I do, is I take two of these pieces and I stick them to sort of underside here. And I take one of these like minifigure stands that you get with like the, you know, the mystery minifigures sets, and I sort of connect that to fill this sort of like gap here. So then you've got like a nice sort of running board at the front. So when I connect buff beam back on, you know, it sort of fills it out. There's not like this kind of gap between the front, and you've got like the nice running board. It sort of brings it all together. So then what I can also do is I can take that lamp as well, and I can mount it, say, here at the front. So there, I can mount it maybe a touch further back, just for the... And if I had, say, another lamp, you know, I could have one up there and one there. I could have one there and one in the middle. You know, it all sort of works out quite nicely. Also, the keen-eyed among you... Ah, no, I've dropped more... Oh, botheration, I've dropped more stuff. Hang on. Give me a second, I'm trying to put this bit of brick away. Went to a brick convention and someone was selling an unopened emerald knight for $1,000. It's the reason why I'm not really keen on getting rid of this set, because one, I like this set. It is my set. There are many like it, but this one is mine. But two, because if I wanted to sell it, a lot of people would be asking for it like mint condition, or they'd be asking it complete. And I think there are a couple of parts that I've just lost over time. Or like, I can't be asked putting it back to how it was because I like it how it is. You know. And maybe if I had the set as it was originally, sure. But again, I like it as is. It's my set. Are you ever going to build a custom Lego model? Like a custom Lego train set? Maybe one day. Again, modelling trains isn't... I say this a lot. Modelling trains isn't something I actively pursue. Like... And let me turn the torch off on my phone because I don't need that anymore. I don't model trains like everyone else does. It feels weird to say, given that modeling's like a massive part of like this community. But modeling's one of those things that I don't quite have the right mind for. Like, if I wanted to build a Pannier tank, like, I'd love a Lego Pannier tank engine, but if you put like a load of bits in front of me and said build a Pannier tank, I'd fumble it so hard. You know, it's why with this, like, as much as everyone's kind of loves this, it's also why it looks a bit dorky. You know, because like, these are all the... I guess a lot of it comes down to these are the bits I had. And I can build some good stuff from scratch. But at the same time, I don't have that modelling intuition. I can take something like this and modify it and make it look a bit nicer. That's what I'm good at. But aside from it, I don't quite have that same intuition. The keen eyes amongst you, however, you'll also notice the funnel here. Usually it's meant to be like, let me pull it up, a lot higher. It's meant to be like that high. And I don't know about you, but with it being that high, it looks kind of goofy. You know? It looks too high up. Like, you can't put your finger on why, but it just looks wrong. And so what I did is, the way this was designed is, it's one of these tire things, and what I had to do is, as you can see, I got a pair of nail clippers and I just cut off the edges, because otherwise it doesn't sit in properly. So I had to get a pair of nail clippers, trim off the sides so it would sit a lot more flush. I know it's a massive sin to like damage Lego pieces, but at the same time, first of all, it's one piece. Like, I'd have an uneven number of tires if I threw this into like the tub with the rest of them. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do with this piece. And secondly, it just looks a lot nicer when it's a bit more flush. You know? So I think altogether, it's quite nice. There are some people who have like made further modifications to their Emerald Knight sets. Like, they've got thinner bars here, or thinner pieces here, so again, another sort of complaint is sort of like how far out the connecting rods sort of stick on the locomotive, which you don't really mind it so much on something like the Constitution. Let me grab that quick. You don't really mind it so much on this because Constitution is already kind of bare bones, and it gives it a nice kind of like, it's strange to say, but it gives it a sort of pyramid shape, like a triangle shape. It's wide at the bottom and gets narrower as you go up. So it kind of looks okay on Constitution. On Emerald Knight, however, the wheels are just a bit too small. So it looks chunky, I guess. It's too wide. I think on the Orient Express set, they've narrowed it down a bit. So again, I'll have to build the Orient Express set and see if they've got like these but narrower. I don't know. I think, again, my only complaint is that the wheels on this are too small. I know there are some people who have like modded this, and I'm trying to look for... I'll keep my eyes open for people who are selling like the modding kits that give like the slightly bigger wheels. Because I think just, I don't know, if the wheels were, I don't know, at like half a centimetre bigger, maybe a centimetre. A centimetre might be too big, but like, I don't know, maybe 6 millimeters bigger, this would just look nice. Because as it is, there's a big gap here and a big gap here. I will one day. Where's the tender? Tender's there. Don't worry, buddy. Why are your videos becoming mid? Oof, oof, oof! The insults. One second. Someone's ringing my doorbell. Let me go tell them to bugger off. I'm so insulted I had to leave. Ugh. Ow! Anyway, I'm back. Yes, it was you, Toby7, Oliver11, Henry3 fan. You were at my door. That's why I slammed it in your face. Woof! So, this is just generally my collection. I don't really know what else to say. Other than... Oh god, there's a moth. But no, that's my computer. Don't fly into that. Moth's just flown into my computer. So if the stream goes off, you know why. So, yeah. I don't know where else to go from here, really. I've basically shown you all I have to offer. I've got an absolute dirt load of track. Let me put that away. Say goodbye. And this can go away as well. Yeah, I've got a bank van. I think that came with the set I built on stream. Gotta love a good bank van. And we've got a forklift. Because how can you hate a forklift? Look at that. Train of thought, watch a couple documentaries, short ones like 20 minutes. I mean, the stream's basically over at this point. Are you certified to operate that? I am not forklift certified, although I probably would be. How do I obtain forklift certification? Prayer. A lot of prayer. I mean, also just, I think, fill out some forms and take some tests and you're forklift certified. I'll look up how much it is to become forklift certified, because honestly, I feel like that would be a right hoot. You just in the bar, someone starts arguing with you, you say, well, I'm forklift certified, so blur. And they're going to go, no you're not, and you just whip out the license that says, I am forklift certified. That's a power move. That is a power move right there. Also something I forgot to mention as well. It was completely accidental. My little shunting engine matches... It's not quite the same cream and chocolate. It's more tan and chocolate, but look at that. It really suits. I think it works well. Is Marcus a good name for the shunter? I don't know what is. I did have a name for it once upon a time, but it's slipped my mind. But I like that the shunter is almost accidentally the same colour matching as this. It's amazing how these accidents work out. Let me see what else I've got in these boxes. I think that's everything. We've got a level crossing that came with one of the stations. Which is, well, I say it's a level crossing, there's not much to it other than that. Here's a name, Beebis. If you can consider that a name, then sure. No offense, I'm not sure I really consider Beebis a name. Sorry if your name is Beebis. But if your name is Beebis and you are watching this, my condolences on you having a very stupid name. Your parents clearly didn't have much faith in you. Unless you chose that name for yourself, in which case you didn't have much faith in yourself. I'm saying an awful lot of mean things. I apologise. Beebus is a very weird name. Sounds like a name you'd hear on Smiling Friends. Right. What else can we do? I mean, I guess I could just play with my trains for another 10 minutes, but again, we've seen everything there is to see. There was a point once upon a time where I think this wagon I had it wasn't made quite as structurally sound as it is, because this one is like nigh indestructible. But I did once upon a time have this wagon built so it was kind of weak in the middle, and the idea was that if it was pushed too hard, if it was pulled too hard, it would just break, because I really liked that one episode of Thomas the Tank growing up as a kid. Obviously now the thing was obviously an absolute mess, because it kept falling apart every time I tried to use it. But now it's pretty sturdy. It's a sturdy boy. I think if I could improve this in one way, I'd need to get some corner pieces. If you want to send me Lego, send it to P.O. Box ToT, Manchester, England, wherever. Don't actually send anything to that address, they'll get lost in the postage system. I wish there was a way you guys could directly just send me Lego. That would be fantastic. Watch Lego Train Chase by Hamster Productions. I think I've watched that before, actually. Not on stream or on YouTube or anything, but I think I have once upon a time watched that. Years ago, I think, when that came out. It's good animation. I literally pulled out a notepad to write down the P.O. Box address, then I realised you were joking. Alright, R.I.P. I'm sorry, my guy. Although, thinking about it, I guess I could make like an Amazon wish list. I just put a load of Lego stuff on it. I could make like, what's the other one? The one that does it all for you. Is it Throne? I could make like a Throne account as well. So I'm just idly playing with this thing in my hand. You probably hear it rattling in my fingers. And it depends on everyone's feeling about that. I might set up an Amazon wish list, and or a Throne. I'll see if they've got any Lego on Throne, because that'll make or break whether or not I make one. Sod it. So, USS Salem saying watch the Lego Train Chase thing. Well, why not? Let me mess around with some tabs. Lego Train Chase. Lego Train Chase by Hamster Productions. "13 years ago. Good grief, that's old. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Lego car crashes. Because there's Lego Police Chase Part 1. Is it Lego Train Chase, Lego Police Chase Part 2? I think that might be it. Yes, that's the one, Part 2. Okay. I bet you heard that. I know you didn't because I have my desktop audio turned down. New... Window capture. Not window capture. Is it window capture I want? Yeah, it's window capture. God, I'm a terrible streamer. No, that's not what I want to move. It's this is what I want to move. I think also let me shrink it down a touch, shrink it down a little more. There we go. Are we all sitting comfortably? Good. Then I'll begin. A credit to Hamster Productions, by the way. Make sure to go watch this video afterwards. They didn't use Waluigi for the burglar. Oh boy, I can't wait for this music to get me copyright struck. Oh no, he's got the tender on backwards. No, look at that. Tender's on backwards. Absolutely unwatchable. What did you make me put on? I can't watch this. You paid me to watch this? For shame. Puh. I kid, let's keep going. Is this... I'm trying to think. This is the can. This is what the music is. I'm just worried that this might not be a royalty-free version of it. Oh god, a police car hits a bloody tree. You think they'd be more careful with that sort of thing. Oh my god, they're gonna shoot the poor bastard. It's jittery, but I see the vision. Oh, you gotta love those, like, stock After Effects. What a... Oh, you can tell this isn't a person who is intimately familiar with railways. Because what is that water tower? Check the description, see if the song is mentioned. It's not, so I don't think they've quite got the copyright on the song off on the video, so we should be okay. Like, what on earth is this? This is Pirates of the Caribbean ass. Oh, he's gonna get shooted. He's gonna get shotted. Wilhelm scream. Oh my god! That's not how that works. I don't think that's not how that works, guys. That's not how you switch. Oh, he's gonna shoot the coupling. Yes! Oh wow! Oh no, they're gonna go off a cliff. They're gonna go off a cliff. Oh no, they just absolutely ruined those poor people's lives. There's an apple on that tree and there's a man sitting under it. Oh no. The apple had to fall off the tree and hit the guy on the head. That's what the gag is. Oh. You shot him in the head and he's alive. Oh no, it's an oil tanker. No, that's not what you do with an oil tanker. Oh. Hey, in the plastic recycling. That was great. A hamster production. Well done, Hamster Productions. Golf clap, golf clap. Oh, there it is. Lego Train Crash. By Alexander... Hold on. This is the one I was thinking of here. We're not going to watch this on stream because this is a great video and you should watch it yourself. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Honestly. Watch it if you can. Let's click off of this. There we go. So this has been yet another sort of hodgepodge stream. Hold on, let me stretch. This has been another sort of hodgepodge stream. It's been nice to get out these Lego models though. I've had them a while. And it's nice to just get a bit of mileage out of them, you know? Like, it's nice to share what you personally have with others, you know? It's nice to just show the world, hey, I make model trains. I don't make them, but... It's nice to show them to an audience who appreciates them. Oh, D-Man, friend told me to donate again. They're enabling me. LOL. Hey, D-Man's friends. Peer pressure him again. You won't. Bleed him dry. Is it payday for you, D-Man? Because, oh boy, that entire check, it's all in my pockets. Yum yum. That's a joke. Please, please don't. I like money and all, but you've donated enough this stream. I appreciate you, guy. I appreciate you, my guy. Oh, god damn it, D-Man. He did. Oh... This is why we like you around, D-Man. This is why we like you around. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's enough. Thank you everyone for watching. Anyone have any further sort of questions they want to pose? It's usually this sort of time in the stream people say, hey, do a video on this, or hey, what's your opinion on this, that, or the other? And you know, this is the point of when we do it, you know? Favorite American and British streamlined engine. Favorite British streamlined. I do like the streamlining on the Southern Pacifics. You know, like the Battle of Britons, the Merchant Navies, all of them. I don't know whether you class it as streamlining because it wasn't done to make them go quicker. It was just done for, like, to make them easier to clean. But I just like the way they look. So if you class those as streamlining, I'll consider those. Americans, what are the New York ones? I can't remember for the life of me, but just the big rectangles. They're so brutish. I love those. It might have been on Pennsylvania. I could be wrong. Again, my knowledge of American locomotives isn't that intimate. So, apologize. I apologize. How was your day? It was pretty good. Did a lot of biking around. The donations from this stream have helped pay for a parcel I had to send. So, yeah. Returns. They're not that fun. What wheel config is the best for Express? It depends on the length of the Express, because I think Pacific is a good balance of large wheels, so you get the top speed and power. I think the P2s with their the 282 big wheel arrangement was good. Either something with 6 to 8 driving wheels is good, just because the wheels are big enough and there's enough of them for the traction. Favorite vegetable? You can't go wrong with the humble potato. Aside from that, I'd go maybe parsnip. Still waiting for you to talk about the strongest successful locomotives, the N&W Y6Bs. That's a video in the waiting. Among the videos you made, which one is your favourite? That can fluctuate. I'm really proud of how like the Flying Scotsman video came out. Like I did the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing. I'm really proud with how the Great Train Robbery one came out. How I did that in the Cowboy Bebop sort of style. You know, it's very sort of subjective, and it can depend on the day. I just like videos where I do funny stories. I particularly love, recently the one I made was the guy that stole Cleckheaton Station. That's one of my favourites, if you were to ask me, because it's a story I find really funny. It doesn't have that many views, but you know, I like that. Do you have a wooden train collection to stream? I do not, but you know those like like the magnetic Thomas the Tank trains? I've got like a bucket load of those somewhere. Next time there's an Audrey extravaganza, I might just start auctioning them off. You never know. Like £1,000 for the whole tub, because some of those are like they're pricey nowadays. Let's see. I heavily recommend the time a train race to plane, technically one. Favorite Scandinavian locomotive? Pass, don't have one. ToT, do you still remember that promise of £1,000 on a stream? Yes, I do. It hangs heavy over my soul. Trend of thought, if you were given an opportunity to rewrite The Lone Ranger, what changes would you make? This is very pressing because I'm still working on that script. It's in good shape though. I'm going with the direction. It's a bit more bitter and satirical than I usually am with a video, so hopefully that'll take off. There are so many. In case you don't know, the original 2013 Lone Ranger, at one point, there was going to be a version of that where the Lone Ranger and Tonto were fighting werewolves. And the reason the Lone Ranger needed silver bullets, which is, you know, his iconic thing, was to fight werewolves. I would totally have gone in that direction. I would have like full-on Pirates of the Caribbean style, like, okay, these two guys are possessed by the silver in the mountain, and they are werewolves, and they're, you know, that's why they're bloodthirsty and whatnot. Because the plot of the Lone Ranger does work to an extent. The idea being that these two guys discovered silver in a mountain. One of them works for the railroad. One of them's a bandit. and you have the bandit. The railroad's building in the area where the silver is, it's on native land, so you have the bandit frame the natives for raiding settlements, so then the railroad can rip up the tree. So the railroad can say, oh, they're not sticking to the treaty. We can then get rid of the natives, so then we're free to go onto that land and take the silver. You know, there's a plot in there. It's a decent story, but it's just executed abysmally. I'd make the Lone Ranger actually somewhat competent, because he's just completely oblivious and completely useless throughout the entire film until the very end. I'd make the trains a bit more accurate. It'd make my job a lot easier on that video. What else? It's hard to say right now. I'd have to properly sit down and rewatch the movie. Like, I'm seeing bits of it for the video, but I'll have to probably sit down and rewatch the movie. I'd also definitely cast a Native American actor to play Tonto, and, you know, not put Johnny Depp in brownface. That would certainly work a lot better in its favour. Oh dear. There's a lot of changes, but that's the sort of rundown of it. Push bike or motorbike? And if motorbike, what do you have? I have a push bike, and it is an absolute dog. Part of it's partially held together by zip ties. The front mudguard's just held on entirely with zip ties. So, yeah, that's gives you an idea of what I'm riding around on. No cursed train stream at any time. At some time. No, they come when they come. Can't rush these things. Favourite Tugs character? Favourite Tugs character? It's the guy that... You know, there's like the garbage dump. There's the guy that's in like the little shed, and he's got a really like blocked nosy voice. He's like, Jack will tell you there is no garbage, isn't that right, Jack? That guy. Let's see what else people have been asking. Any advice on researching stuff for a train on trains for a video? It generally depends what it is. If you're looking up a very niche and obscure event, it can be quite frustrating. Don't be afraid to look into newspapers. There are quite a few things that I've found thanks to going out of my way and looking into newspapers at the time. Again, the Cleckheaton Station thing, like, there's a bunch of quotes I got from the newspapers that were quite funny. Like, the guy that, you know, stole the station was, like, looking for the con man, and like, when asked by the newspapers, he said, I'm going to look for the guy because he owes me 400 quid for knocking down the station and an extra 200 quid for the job. Like, I wouldn't have found that if I didn't search through newspapers. It's awkward and it can be difficult, but it's worth doing. Let's see. ToT, do you know about the Pinwerry dip incident? I do not, but I'm going to look into that. Squash or cordial? Neither. Water. I collect Thomas Wooden Railway. Good for you. Yeah, take and play. That's what the Thomas thing, for those you wondering. Train of thought, doing the horrible Lionel animated movie anytime soon. When I'm done with The Lone Ranger. Would you watch a movie about a train time travelling to the age of dinosaurs and having to outrun dinos? That sounds stupid, and I'm guessing that's probably the plot of one of those CGI Thomas movies that I absolutely abhor. I actually got to see the film set of the 2013 Lone Rangers movie when I was a child. That's pretty cool. Which set was it? If you had a VTuber model, what would you want it to look like? Probably just a guy in overalls. Looks like he was driving an engine. Honestly, the closest thing I can think of would just be Heis. Just a cartoony version of Heis. That's about the closest thing I can think of that would work as a VTuber model. What's your least favourite British Railways engine? As in built by British Railways? It'd probably be one of the smaller tank engines, I'd say. I've not got a personal hatred for any British Railways engines. Favourite myth, ghost, or urban legend surrounding railroads? There's quite a few. The Blood Pit, that was one of my favourite ones. The Hoosick Tunnel. I do like the Teke. There's something about like Japanese ghosts that just hit different, and I like things like the Teke because they're so unusual in how they work. Like the idea that it's like the top half of a person. I think it's a woman that was cut in half by a train. It's like scrabbling around a station. And I think there's a version of it where it skulks around the bathrooms. And if it crawls into a bathroom and you hear from the other side of the stall, "Do you know where my legs are?" I think you're supposed to say it's like the 4-7 something expressway, and it'll leave you alone. Any other answer, it'll kill you. It's such a weird, specific thing, but that's what I kind of like about it. There are rules to how the ghost works. You know, that's the sort of thing I like with ghosts. Train of thought, name your food channel food for thought and have a spinning dinner plate with a fork and knife. Sure. Do you like Godzilla? I've never been a big Godzilla fan. I've never been a big kaiju fan. Not really that fussed. Why not the train wheel from the logo for the VTube model's head? That could work. Just a big train wheel as a face. That'd be quite funny. Also, do a video on Hideo Shimba, the creator of the Bullet Train. What people don't know about him is that he made a lot of steam engines designed for the JNR. Speaking of the JNR, you know, people banging on about was it Box Hill, Cornwall. What were the other two? The engine from the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Railway and Locomotion Number 1. They went to Japan. I reached out to a Japanese railway YouTuber. I just asked him about it. Well, them. I asked them about it, and they've given me a little bit more information. They found like a couple magazine cutouts. They don't have anything specific yet. It's pretty vague what they have. It's just, hey, here's a magazine, and I don't understand much of it. The articles that they've translated, they don't really tell you much information, like specifically where they were. And you know, there's nothing much like saved on the internet, so it's going to be one of those things where you'd have to probably get in contact with a lot of folks over in Japan for the details. But you know, I've got pictures, I've got magazine clippings, and honestly, it's nice. What happened to that saddle tank engine on sale that you talked about on a stream? I don't know. You'd have to get... Was that the one from Lorry Goes Loco? Because I think I'll have to get in touch with him and see what's going on with that. I'm assuming that's fine. It's not going to go for scrap because it's a nearly functioning steam locomotive. Those things, like, you're not going to scrap that. I can't say I'm updated on that, but, you know. One more suggestion. The last train to North Korea steam engine that was shot at by the Americans to avoid capture. I think I've got that saved somewhere. That's going to be another video in the future. Favorite experimental engine, like the rebuild of the Class 28. Fury, that's a good one. Hush Hush, you gotta love that as an experimental engine. Kits and Still locomotive, that's a bizarre looking thing that I quite like. There's a few. I can't think of one off the top of my head specifically. There's a few experimental locomotives. I'd have to like go through a list if I wanted to tell you my favourite. And again, it can depend on the day. It's a very subjective thing. Ever heard of the Chattahoochee Railroad? I have not. That sounds like an innuendo for something. Are you a fan of ocean liners? I'm not really a boat guy. I wouldn't mind going on a cruise one day, though. Just for the memes, I don't know what to say. Okay. I'd say that's it for the stream then. That seems to be everyone caught up to date. Everyone's asked all of their questions. One last one, do a video on the Milwaukee Road. Am I saying it right? Because it's not the Milwaukee Road, it's Milwaukee Road. Oh, let me do another clean one. Milwaukee Road. There you are, that's a soundbite you can use and whenever you need to use it. Do a teardown stream. I've got teardown, it's a fun game. It's been a while since I've played it though. It's a hard game to master, is teardown. You know, it's just a difficult game to master. Tug's theme is playing as we do, so I guess that means the stream is coming to an end. Will you play Train Z? Probably not. Again, I'm not a big fan of... I like railroad games where I build the railroad. It's why I like Railroads Online so much, because there's something satisfying about having all like the individual places and building the lines to it. And that's something you've built. I'm not as keen on things like Train Simulators and Train Z, where you have to effectively, you're just given the track and you just drive backwards and forwards. There's not that level of customizability to it that I like. It's why I like playing Minecraft and those sorts of games. It's that sort of sweet spot where I get to build the thing, but I also get to run it. But I understand you can build railways and Train Z, but that's modelling. I like it when there's a purpose to it, when I have to put some thought into the infrastructure. Again, Railroads Online, you have to take things from the logging camp to the sawmill, from the sawmill to all the different other industries, from all the other industries to the coal mines and the iron mines and the refineries and all this, that and the other. I like being given a task and then achieving it. That's essentially what I look for in a game when I like Railroads Online. Yeah, create a mod for Minecraft, that sort of thing. You know, Tug's theme is over, so the stream will end very soon. But you know, it's one of those things. Train Valley also does that. On Steam, actually, I've got on my wish list 2 more games. Let me just bring up Steam real quick, just so I can look at it, because I really want to play these when they come out, because they look interesting. Islands and Trains and Railway Life. No idea when those are going to come out, but they look interesting to play. I want to play those, so keep your eye out on those, because they look fun. You should also try out the very bad Russian train sim. I watched a video on that. It looks abysmal. It's better you just watch a video on it than actually have me play it, because I've seen it, I don't want to go through it. Because there's nothing. It's not worth me downloading it and playing it even ironically, because it's just that bad. It wouldn't be fun. Ever heard of Unlimited on Roblox? Not playing Roblox. End of. We're not. This is a Roblox-free household. You will take the name of Roblox out of your goddamn mouth. Or the Lionel game. Yeah, if I can find a copy of the Lionel game. Anyway, I keep saying the stream's over because it is. Let me end the stream now because, oh good god, I can't keep rambling like this forever. I've got to go eat and pee and do adult things like cry. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.